Okay.
Well, hello there. This is Ernesto Osorio from Biggie's Fit Games and Expo show. And I am here talking to Patricia, which is our hair and makeup person for the Hot Bodies Fit Games, the event happening on June 4th at the Legends Complex. So Patricia, tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you do with your company.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me today, Ernesto. I'm so honored. You're like a legend in the industry, and I'm just grateful to just be able to work with you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I've been in the industry since 2009. I have been doing hair, makeup, and spray tanning for shows all across the country. I actually have hundreds of clients under my belt that have won countless trophies, awards based on the styling work that we do here at Peak Image.
Great. So, for people that are not part of the world, explain a little bit about, the aspect of hair and makeup and tanning for a competition. So a little explanation, you have a competition on a Saturday. So tell us the ins and outs of a competitor getting ready for that.
Well, what we usually do is on Friday before the show, that's when your prep work begins. You get your hair prepped and ready for styling the following day. Your spray tan has to be laid down that night. You do not want to spray tan the day of the show because your tan is not even going to be completely dry or properly laid so that you can step on stage. You'll smear and it will look horrible. So we always recommend that you make sure you get your tanning done before the competition. Preferably that Friday would be the day that we choose.
So, but let's talk about, both of us, have a little different complexion of skin. Talk to me about somebody who's a little bit more fair. How different is that for them?
Well, basically, you're going to be much darker than you've ever imagined. And the reason why we have to make you that dark is because underneath the stage lights, if you stand underneath there with a paler skin tone, it will completely drown out your muscularity and all the hard work that you put in for your toning and what you want the judges to see. It gets drowned out on stage. So the tan, that spray tan, gives that enhancement to the definition of your body underneath the lights on stage.
So, and can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Speaking of makeup and hair, these competitions start early and they last pretty much all day long on that particular Saturday. Being around the competitions and training girls for different competitions and being around it, you guys start pretty early on that hair and makeup to be ready for going out on stage like around 10 a.m. or so. I've seen girls 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning getting ready. Tell us a little bit about that and those experiences.
Well, one of my most memorable experiences was basically not having any sleep and having girls camped out around my styling room from the night of Friday all the way up until Saturday morning, sleeping in the hallway to make sure that they get a good appointment slot. So that is what's going to be necessary in order to make sure everything falls in order on time, because these shows require you to be checked in at a certain time or else you will not be able to compete. So timeliness is the key to success. And it also shows the promoter that you're respecting his show and the time. So We make sure we start doing girls early in the morning. We take appointments from 3, 4, 5 a.m. and on, all the way up until you step on stage. Because we'll move our operation to the venue so that we can touch you up and make sure you look absolutely phenomenal when you step on stage.
What's the average time to get a competitor ready with hair and makeup? How long does that take?
Hair typically about 30 to 45 minutes in the morning, and makeup about 30 to 45. So just a lot, like an hour of your time to getting those things done.
Is that an average?
That's an average time. Yeah, average is about hour to an hour and 20 to be, to do the prep work to get ready for stage.
And so for the girls getting ready for that, let's say they're doing tanning, hair and makeup, and then they're getting their suit all fixed up or so. What do you look at time basis for all that?
From beginning to end of that process?
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely have to allot, from the time you get up in the morning to the time you step on stage, you're going to be prepping. So I would say about a good 3 to 4 hours of your time is going to be spent on preparation the morning of the show.
4 hours for that day?
Yeah, that morning to get to make it to prejudging. And, in between the shows, your day and your night show, is when we typically do touch-ups to prepare you for the awarding ceremony. So that adds a little more time to your day for preparation.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So tell us about, the prepping of your skin and your body for acceptance of the tan.
Okay, thank you for asking that question, Ernesto. So before you even make it to my tanning booth, I require all of my clients to make sure they've had all the hair removed off of their bodies. I need them to be completely exfoliated, because what will happen when we spray the tan, and if you have hair and dry skin, it could affect the quality of the tan. So we require that. No deodorants, no lotions, no oils, no perfumes. You just gotta deal with whatever odors your body exerts. And everybody around you has to deal with it too. And I mean, I know it sounds like so taboo, like, oh my goodness, I can't, wear my favorite perfume, or everybody's gonna smell the same way, and it's perfectly fine. I've been around it. Ernesto has, so we are familiar with the show smell.
So on that note, when you're talking about, again, what women go through to get ready for the competition, the timing, I mean, they're both trying to diet down for the competition, trying to do all this posing, getting these incredible elaborate suits that they're going to be wearing on that particular day. Compare, I'm sure you've done hair and makeup for other events. Compare doing, hair and makeup for a bodybuilding competition as to compose to, doing a hair and makeup for a wedding. Tell us a little bit about the differences there.
Well, basically, in the fitness world, you have to look completely dramatic. You have to have so much product. You have to go to a level of makeup that you've never gone to before, because this is a production. This is not something where you're going to, hang out with your husband or loved ones or family or friends type of event. This is an event that's going to be televised. It's going to be on magazines. It's going to be in newspapers. And that requires a special type of application, which is way heavier than any of the other types of applications you probably ever had. So we make sure that, you know, we do that. Now I've had to at least let people know this in advance so they don't be alarmed at the type of, you know, the heaviness of the makeup. It looks heavy if you look at it in the mirror, but when you stand in the light, it just blends out beautifully.
So, you know, in saying that, you know, girls that, you know, have done either, when you start looking hair and makeup for like a photo shoot or for a wedding, you know, it's for that particular event. They're going to be seeing people back and forth. Would you compare, you know, a bodybuilding hair and makeup to maybe like stage hair and makeup, maybe for like comparable to theater, comparable to cheerleading competitions, things of that nature?
Absolutely, absolutely. The makeup that you see on any fitness stage goes hand in hand with the type of makeup you see on TV, on film, on movies. That's the type of makeup that we do for these shows. So your everyday makeup is not allowed.
So when picking something like that, you know, let's say somebody decided, I think I'm going to do my own hair and makeup. What would you tell somebody like that who's a newbie? Like I said, they have not done a competition. This is their first time doing a competition, and they can, you know, they know how to go out to the club. They know how to put on, you know, their makeup to look good. You know, all their friends are looking, you know, at them saying, "Hey, you're looking fly. You're looking good." You know, what would you tell that person? What would your recommendations be to that person, as well as taking in consideration, you know, like we talked before, skin tones. You know, I mean, again, you and I have different skin tones. Somebody a little bit more fair has different skin tones. When using a tanning, when using a base or so for that particular day, what are your recommendations for something like that?
Well, typically, a person that feels like they can do their own makeup for these kinds of shows, if they hadn't already been trained in stage and theater makeup, you know, that'll probably give them a disadvantage. What the judges usually are looking for, you can have the best body standing on the stage, but they want the complete package. They want to know that a person took the time for not only their body, their presentation, which includes their hair, their makeup, their nails, their jewelry, the type of shoes they have on. It may seem like, well, you know what? I put all this effort for my body, but that's all they should be looking at. But when there's 20 girls standing on stage, you have to stand out amongst the rest. And that's where a professional team comes in to take care of what you need in order to shine on stage.
Now, would you also, I mean, in my recommendation, there's certain things that I just wouldn't want to be doing on a day like that. You know, I mean, I would want to concentrate on the things that I can probably control a little bit more. You know, and then going into, again, first time putting on makeup for something like that could take a lot more time than what it should. I could end up doing it wrong. You know, for the girls, they normally realize that when they get the pictures from the photographer and their body is, you know, completely tan and their face is completely white from the pictures. So, what do you say about things like that?
Well, Ernesto, you and I both know, and I mean, I've never been a competitor. I've just been there for competitors. And you are carb depleted. You have not had any water. Your brain is not functioning on all cylinders. So it didn't matter how hard you try to do this process yourself. It's going to be it's going to make that experience a little more harder for you. It's better to just pass that over to somebody else to take care of it. You don't have to think about that. All you have to be concerned with is your posing on stage your presentation, your confidence, your poise. Those are the things that a competitor should be thinking about on the day of competition. Let us do all the other work to get that out of your hands.
Good, good. So again, let's talk about that week of competition and female competitor getting ready. First of all, how do they get a hold of you? Tell us, your information, your website, and give us the prep of the week of, competition being Saturday morning for all the prejudging. Talk to us about, what should happen on that Monday before the competition.
Well, Monday is when you're going to start your shaving, your exfoliating, and I even suggest going to a tanning, laying in a tanning bed too, for the more paler skinned ladies who are harder to tan. I do recommend that they do that. But those are the kinds of assessments that I make with the client when I make the appointment. I'll be able to tell them exactly what to do in order to get on that stage and be phenomenal. So Monday, you're starting your prep with your body, getting it, completely exfoliated. You have your suit in order. You make sure that suit fits, because you do not want to wait until you get on the stage or get close to the stage and your suit is, maybe you went down too far, or maybe you didn't go down enough. Those things need to be taken care of in advance. You want to make sure you have really your luggage packed with your suit, your incidentals. Maybe I say spray adhesive. I feel like that's like a savior, even though a lot of times you guys have it backstage for the competitors. Hosing oil, if you have that, I recommend having that, but we also carry a lot of that for you as well. So just do as much as you can to have that preparation together, so that all you have to worry about getting closer to that Friday for your spray tan appointment is grabbing your bag and driving to the venue, the contest hotel, going in there and going to get your tan.
So you're prepping, shaving, exfoliating. How many days out for that?
I prefer starting on Monday, so that every Tuesday you're exfoliating again. Wednesday you're exfoliating again. Wednesday and Thursday you can do touch-up shave to make sure that you've got every area of your body clean of hair, and that way on Friday, we're ready for you.
Now, when you say shaving, there's a lot of nice products out there now for the process of taking out hair. Do you recommend just the shaving? What if they wanted to use the Nairs or any one of those? What do those do to the tanning?
It will turn your tan green. Yeah, if you want to look like the Incredible Hulk, those products will definitely ensure that. So we want old school shaving, old school. Just pull out that old razor and just take your time. If you got to shave, a body part a day, do that. But we need you to use old school tanning. No chemical, where they take the skin out. None of those chemical peels or none of that stuff, because those chemicals interact with the DHA in the tan, and it will turn it a wonderfully green color that we don't want for you on stage.
What would you say to the girls that do waxing or sugaring or anything like that before competition? Would you tell them? Would you prevent them from doing that, or let them know just doing a razor shaving?
Yeah, a razor shave is all we need. I mean, waxing does get a lot of the hairs off, but however, we don't want anything to interact with the tan that's going to cause a reaction and turn the color of the tan. So just an old school razor is the safest way to go. You don't have to worry about any chemicals being put into your skin. Just old school shaving.
Now, on the you made the comment earlier before the stopping of deodorant
Yeah.
or any format of perfume, anything that makes you smell good.
Mm-hmm.
So when do you stop that?
You can stop that like on that Friday morning. Yeah, you can smell good all week up to Thursday, and Friday, just forget it. Friday and Saturday, it's over. It's over. So you can do it all week. It's fine. We're not going to make you go to work and scare your boss.
So Patricia, tell us a little bit about the spray tanning. I'm kind of old school, and I didn't have the benefits of the spray tanning when I competed a long time ago. But tell us about that benefit, and then when you're pretty much painting yourself. Tell us about coats. How many coats does tell us about coats compared to the division. So a bodybuilder requires these many coats. A figure, beach body competitor, bikini competitor. What coats? What do they need?
Okay, usually for our bikini competitors, we put the less coats on because they want those competitors to look more natural, more vivacious, kind of like you stepped out of a Victoria's Secret pamphlet. So those spray tans are not as heavy. However, they are dark. They're darker than normal. Your physique, men's physique, those are when it gets a little bit more defined because you have abs, you got all kinds of muscular definition points that we want to touch on. And if you are not that perfect dark color underneath those lights, we may miss those points on you. So, for the physique and the bodybuilding, we do make sure that we contour a little bit darker to make sure all those points are being highlighted.
Good. So the average coat for a bodybuilder. Give me the average coats. How many times do I have to get spray tan before I go on stage?
I'll lay about 3 to 4 coats. Now, the type of tan that we use is it's really a special blend of my own, but it's kind of the darkest dark of the Jantana brand. And what we do is, because it's already set for competition tanning, it's the darkest tan on the market. We hit you with a couple times, and then that third time is really enough for a bodybuilder. The bikini girls, we can go twice, 1.5 to get touch-ups, but you just want to look like you just stepped out of a magazine. So, yeah.
Okay. And so how about the male model, the physique, the beach body kind of look? Would that still be, they're usually not as dark as the bodybuilders, correct?
No. They also have that more, I just stepped off the cover of GQ type of look. So we want to make them look more natural, more appealing when it comes to, the everyday person, because these are everyday people that are looking to you as a competitor, and they're seeing like, wow, I might be able to do that. I can do that. And when you have that more natural color, it makes you a lot more appealing. So for those particular divisions, we do a lighter, but the heavyweight and the bodybuilding competitions, we go darker because of all of the points that need to be highlighted.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the hair and the prep for the hair. Let's talk a little bit, your hair right now with all the curls and everything. Let's say a girl does not have a natural curl and wants to get her hair curled for that particular day. I remember, having a competitor, and she couldn't wash her hair for like 2 days or something before the competition. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I remember telling the competitors something like that back in the day. Now with technology, technology has advanced even in the salon world, where we have products that can curl you. I also do a lot of extensions on young ladies too, because your hair may not even hold a curl. it may not even hold a curl, but you want to be able to look like this girl who is holding a curl. So I even recommend extensions too for a lot of young ladies, just so that when they step on stage, they have every product necessary, everything in their favor, so that they can compete. So, you know, that's something that I have to figure out with each competitor. I do a consultation with them. I find out the texture of their hair. You know, I'll even meet up with competitors via webcam or Starbucks, just so we can go over this before the show. And this is not a last minute thing. Like, you don't wait till the week of the show and try to scurry around. Like, I have to prepare for you. You know, the whole team. We have to make sure we have the right products, the right hair for you, the everything that's necessary to bring you together. So
what we're letting the listeners know, and people out there who are, like I said, who are not competed or thinking about competing, and then the support system for those competitors. You know, there's a lot that goes on with getting ready for competition, especially for the females, to do all that they do to get ready and be perfect for that particular day, for their competition, to shine on stage. It pretty much is a production, you know, and to have, you know, professionals like yourself being there to guide them, help them, give them information. That's good to have, and for people that, like I said, to take that into consideration of the dedication and the time, not just from the competitor, but from the people helping those competitors to look their best on that particular day.
Behind the scenes, yes. It was
behind the scenes, yes.
A lot of prep work. And I mean, the thing about it is, you have spent all this time to prepare yourself for this great accomplishment, and we don't want to let you down in any way. So we work overtime, undertime. We don't get sleep. We want to make sure that the product that you are trying to display is the best product you have ever seen. And the only way that we can do that is ensuring that you get with us in advance to prepare, you know, your total package.
Great. Thank you so much for all your information. And for those competitors that are, signing up for the show, they can find your link, right, for Peak Image at our website at Bods by Big E.
Yeah.
And they can also get a hold of you directly from your webpage, which will be put out there on the live chats and the social media. Again, we want to thank you for being part of the Hot Bodies Fit Games on June 4th at the Legends Complex. Thank you so much, Patricia, for your time, and I'll see you pretty soon.
Thank you so much, Ernesto. It's been a pleasure.
Have a good one.